Alright, now we're on to the used tool store picks, and all of these picks right here, all of these items here were all picked on the same day, so I actually had a really good day at the store. This was back actually a couple weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago. Didn't get around to going through this stuff until now, but this is a Starrett indicator box with just random contents that he put $15 on the whole thing, which got, you know, some good stuff in here. So $15 all in the box. So we got a Starrett indicator holder bar here, and with the original bar on it. I've never seen one done this way. I don't know why this is on here like this. Typically we would, let's see if I got something to, alright, I don't know why somebody tightened that way too much, but typically that bar you'll see it mounted on here. This is a kind of a cool clamp off of an indicator stand, and I'm not quite sure what brand this belongs to. I think I've seen some Brown and Sharps that have clamps kind of like this. Although, you know, it might actually be, yeah, I'm not sure. Not going to worry about it, but it's a nice clamp. What look to be Starrett hole attachments. These are for, you can mount them on a post, and then you can use an external indicator like a drop indicator, or a back plunge indicator, for instance, like a 190 whatever, which I think this case might be for, and indicate a bore. So that one looks like it's got some damage to it or something. I don't know. And then the rest of this box, I think, is just some random, well, we got a little tap in there, that's about it. Some random indicator parts. That looks like it's from a Last Word, maybe. Here's another one from a Last Word that is in pieces. There's a dowel pin. Oh, this might be a, oh, that's nice. That's a Starrett, that's a Starrett 1-inch standard. So that's a nice little find there. So I might actually have, I think I've got some extra 196s maybe? I can't remember off the top of my head. The Starrett indicator that actually probably belongs in this box. I might actually have a couple of those that do not have cases, so I'll even be able to put the case to good use. And I was able to get this loose. So typically these rods are more often mounted this way. So you can slide this right in your lantern style tool post on your lathe, for instance, and then have an indicator off of here. Yeah, so that's the 196 set, which is a 10-piece set, which is the indicator, a snug, this rod, this holder, clamp which is missing, the other rod which is missing, and the 3 little interchangeable contact points for the indicator itself. There, I did find a contact point in here, but this actually has male threads on it, and the 196s. Yeah, so here's a couple of my orphan 196s right here. This one's like practically brand new, and then there's this one. So there's the snug. Of course, we already have that snug. Yeah. So if we put that in there like that, and then of course this is one of the contact points that came in this set that would be stored there when it's not being used. So there's the 3 variations of the contacts. Well, according to the picture I just saw online on the Starrett website, this is the correct hole tool for this set. This one, I don't even know if this is Starrett or not, but the one I'm going to keep in here because it's working and complete. This one is a different design. This has got a thumb screw that just screws in to tighten down on it. This has got a little bit more elaborate deal here where it's got this little part that slides in and out, and it's got a bevel on the top, and there's a screw cap that would screw on over this, but that's missing, unfortunately. so that's not going to work. As far as all the other pieces, I was able to put together 2 complete snugs out of all the pieces that were left over here, and 2 complete last word clamps. I had this stuff left over. Well, the bargain bin was at, it was either at 50 cents or a buck for any of the junk on the center table there, and I spotted these Exolite branded nut drivers. There was only 2 of them, but they're the 2 most popular sizes that I tend to use, which are the 5/16 and the 1/4 inch. Well, 3/8 would have been the 3rd most popular size that I use. So those were worth it to me to have just as spares. This little plastic bin, I like these because I could stick them in the drawers of my my Vidmar cabinets, and they're great for storage. And then he had a bin there of items for $6 a piece, and I saw this crusty old looking Ames Indicator in there, and you know, initially I was like, I don't even want to pay the $6 for it, but then I looked at it and I realized, oh, you know what's kind of nice is that this has got 2 subdials on it, which makes it a little interesting, and it's a tenths indicator. It's a drop indicator for 0.0001 resolution. And the other thing I thought was, it looks like hell, but I bet you this is going to be one of those deals where in like 2 seconds of cleaning, it's going to look 1,000% better. Kind of like these old Ames indicators. So there's a little bit of crud here that's not going to come off of that plastic by the looks of it. Oh no, wait, hold on. Well, like I said, you know, better, certainly. So it's a little sticky, but it's not really hanging, so there's nothing to indicate that it's the problem with the rack being bent or anything. It's probably just sticky from, you know, dirt and crud getting in there over time. Yeah, so this is a pretty cool indicator because you've got the 2 subdials, which is typical more on like the long travel ones. But the reason why, even though this isn't a long travel, that you have 2 subdials is because of the resolution being so high. You know, each one of these divisions is a tenth of a thousandth. And this is marked clearly Waltham, Massachusetts, USA. I'd say it's worth the $6. Then he had this stare-at depth micrometer sitting there, and he only had $15 on it. And it's a model 440. The locking ring works. It's got 3 rods, so it's a 0 to 3 inch. It's actually in pretty nice shape. It's not engraved. It's a clean little thing for $15. I thought this was a pretty good deal. So, next couple items, kind of interesting. This is a Brown and Sharp screw pitch gauge. Got this for $8. Usually don't have too much trouble selling these. They have quite a few leafs on them. I've got the stare-at version of this, so I'll be able to sell this one. And then this I've never seen before, so I had to have it. I don't even think I've found one of these online since I've acquired it. This is a stare-at. He called this a pin gauge. And what I believe it is I believe it's actually, yeah, I'm almost positive. This is a drill index. It's a stare-at drill index for number size drills up to number 80. So look at the size of the holes on this thing. They're tiny. So I've never seen one of these before. I've seen stare-at drill indexes and had quite a few of them go through my hands, but I've never had one this small. It actually says it's a number 286, so it shouldn't be hard to look up. But I don't think I even found one on eBay. Well, I take that back. It's once you know the number that it's a 286, it's pretty easy to look up. I think at the time when I first initially was looking it up, I was just trying to find, if you put stare-at drill index in, you get too many results. And if you put in pin gauge, there's no such thing because it's not a pin gauge. It's a drill index. Once you know that it's a 286, you can go on eBay and you can see that, like, currently the cheapest one offered for sale is $36. Here's one $44 with free shipping. Here's one with the original little paper sleeve, $65 your best offer. So these trade pretty high. He had $5 on this, so that was a heck of a deal. Pretty happy with that. And then, do they sell? Yeah, they do. Here's one sold back in February with one opening bid, $29.72, which I don't understand why anybody would start something at $29.72. So I think that's some kind of eBay mumbo jumbo going on there. $30. Here's one $23.50, 7 bids, and then $6 shipping. So it looks like $30 is what they trade for. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to keep this or not. Next up, I almost passed on this, but then I thought, well, what the heck? It's a Starrett number 657. I've got a couple of these now. It's the push button on-off mag base. He had $20 on it. Can't make a lot of money at that, but it does have the... there's a couple different styles of these. This one has this style articulating arm, which it's a little tight, but if you loosen this nut, that allows this ball to swivel freely. Then you've got a hinge point here, and then more importantly, right here, this is a fine adjust. So by turning this knob, this is all locked up. This hasn't been used in years, you can tell. But by turning this fine adjust, this knurled knob right here, you actually have a fine adjust built into this, which makes it a little bit nicer and a little bit more valuable than the other style, which is just a straight rod that sticks up here. Oh, I'm going to add this in right now just before I forget. So of all places to find something, my wife and I go all the way out to Springfield to get our first dose of the COVID vaccine, which went well. It was over a week ago, no side effects. I felt perfectly fine, no effects at all. Anyways, I'll probably update you after I get the second shot. So we're going through this mall in Springfield, and I don't even know how the heck the people in this store are paying the rent, because I can't imagine what the rent is in that mall. But I guess the mall's not doing so great, maybe, because there was a thrift store in the mall, like a little antiques co-op, and people set up in there selling their junk. And I'm going through there, my wife and I, we can't resist, looking at the junk, and I'm moseying along, and all of a sudden I see this mag base sitting there on the table. And I'm like, oh. And I think that Starrett's the only one that made a push button like this. I might be wrong. But anywho, pick it up. It's got a sticker on it for $5. I'm not going to pass that up for $5. So anyways, if we look at it side by side, you can see it's a perfect match. So what has happened here is at some point in its life, somebody removed this little plate that was on the front here. You can still see the holes where the little dowels went in to hold it in. Whether or not they took it apart to clean it, I don't know. Because I think the way that you disassemble these is, I think this disc unscrews, and you got to put something in there, a spanner that will lock into those two pins right there, and then you can unscrew this and take the guts out and clean it if necessary. But I'm pretty sure that this is a Starrett, and if you look at, this is the straight rod style that I was talking about. So you can see this is a downgrade from this, and it's got a little snug on it too, which is a nice little bonus. $5 is a good deal for that. All right, back to the used tool store. We got the final 3 items, and these are all interesting to me. Well, one was a killer deal, and the other 2 are just interesting. So this is, he had $20 on this. This is a gauge block set that is in what looks to be maybe a homemade metal tray. But what caught my eye about this gauge block set, besides the fact that it's old as dirt, is that they all appear to be the same brand, and they are all marked, they appear to be W, large W, small m maybe, T, well, capital T, and then capital Koenig, Koenig. So I'm not familiar with that particular brand of gauge block. Well, I've done a little bit of searching. I haven't been able to find out much information. Apparently, W.M.A. Koenig is William A. Koenig. Actually, these are William T. Koenig. So I wasn't even searching the right thing, because the A. Koenig, I think I found like a depth gauge and a couple other things online. There's only 2 items listed on eBay. And yeah, they were both William A. Koenig and Troy, New York. So I don't know if this is another family member, maybe. I haven't been able to find much at all on these. No previous sales. Yeah, so pretty obscure set. So this is going to be a tough one to figure out exactly where I want to go with value on these. I don't expect these to ring, only because they're pretty dirty. So I don't know. And then apparently it was the day for buying obscure gauge blocks. He also had this little doohickey right here. Check this out. So he had $11.50 on this little slice of heaven. What is it, you might say? Well, on this end it's marked Registered U.S. Patent Office. And on this end it's marked Pratt & Whitney Mic Checks. Pratt & Whitney CO dot and then Mic Checks. So this is actually a neat little gauge block set of round gauges. So you open this sucker up like this. Almost sent that flying. And you have these little round gauge blocks in here. How cool is that? So there's a 1 inch, a 1/2 inch, a 0.1 inch stuck to it. Oh. Ew. Oh, I wonder if that's anti-corrosive paper that was in here to protect these and has never been removed until I just did that. Maybe, I don't know. These actually look like they're in pretty good shape. These might ring. I can't tell if I'm ringing these together or if that's just, maybe this has waxy residue on it too. Oh, that doesn't, no, that feels clean. I think I just rang those together. Those are working. So these are pretty cool. Never seen anything like that before. Really felt like I wanted that one. I don't know. It's gonna be hard for me to part with this one. It's also marked on the side here, Pratt & Whitney Company USA. All right, I guess they can be found on eBay. There's one right there that sold for $60 plus $6.55 shipping back on February 17th. So I guess I did pretty well on that. So pretty cool little item there for $11.50. And then the last item in this pick, or this slew of picks, it's probably the best deal I got. Definitely the best deal I got at the tool store that day, I think, is this little Albrecht chuck on this arbor. So it's a Jacobs A4000 arbor. So you can put this right in and call it straight shank. But what it's got on it is an excellent condition little Albrecht chuck. This is the little tiny precision chuck. It is a 0-1,5, which I believe is a 0 to 1.5 millimeter. So it's a great little chuck on an arbor. Typically, you'll see these mounted on the sensitive drill attachments. These are for using those really small, little tiny drills that you know, like this index size drills. This is what this is good for. So I don't know why, but he was calling this a hand drill. I guess he just thought that this is like a pin vise, and he only had $10 on this. So can't go wrong there. $10 for an Albrecht chuck that isn't, you know, destroyed. All right, so I'm gonna call that a wrap here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button, and as always, please consider subscribing. Take care.